Back and feeling better. It's Welcome Home Phil in EastEnders tonight at 7:30. The buzz of the property auctions now on BBC One and BBC One HD.
Hello and welcome to Homes Under the Hammer.
Now, for many, buying at auction gives the chance to get properties that are in need of some work.
Now, people like to put their own stamp and style on their property and hopefully make a bit of a profit along the way.
And there's much more chance that you might do that when you buy your home under the hammer.
We love the buzz and the excitement in the auction room. You can almost sense the hope and frustration in the air.
Yes, and you never know what's going to happen until the very last second. So, what tempted the buyers on today's programme? I'm heading west to see a bizarrely designed terraced house in Cardiff. In all the times I've been doing Homes Under the Hammer, I've never seen a layout like this.
I'm going east to a bungalow by the sea in sunny Margate. You know, it's a good thing for me when you get to the front door and you like it already.
And I'm off to see a period flat in the student area of Plymouth. Wow, 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 look at this!
All these properties have been sold at auction and we'll find out who bought them and what they paid for them when they went under the hammer.
It's yours, thank you.
There's something about the traditional British seaside town that just warms your heart, even in cold weather like this. And the southeast coastal town of Margate is no different. It's suffered a downturn in tourism in recent years, like many other UK holiday spots, but money has been heavily invested in the town centre and rejuvenating that famous old promenade. So things are moving in the right direction. That investment has brought new life to the town. Margate is now home to galleries, artist workspaces, and is fast becoming a more desirable place to live. Now, the property I've come to see is a short walk from the seaside in this no-through road in Westbrook Inn, a suburb of Margate. Now, I'm told it's got its own little community with independent shops and a villagey vibe. So this bungalow really fits in. It's quaint, it's characterful, and it was guided at £150,000 to £160,000. You know, it's a good thing for me when you get to the front door and you like it already. Now look at this, it's got so much character and wow. Now this is a hallway and a half. Do you know I love bungalows because they offer so much space. We've got a huge sitting room here with a little 30s fireplace. You've got another room to the left, I suppose that would be a bedroom, a second bedroom here. The colour scheme leaves a lot to be desired, I have to say, but you've got great ceiling height as well. It's looking good. The bright colours continue in the tiny bathroom and even tinier loo next door. I'd knock down the adjoining wall straight away. The colour schemes really are fantastic in this house. Of course, a pink kitchen, but you've got to see beyond all of this. You know, once you've decorated in here, it would be great. You've got a good-sized kitchen. You could even knock out this chimney breast to open it up a little bit more. And you've got a sort of conservatory bolted onto the side. Now, I think it's only single skin, so you'd need to look into that. And sort of plastic corrugated roof there. That would need changing. But, you know, you have got that little bit of extra space for the summer months. And in here, a larder. You could either store your food in there or knock it out and incorporate the space into the kitchen. And as far as extending goes, well, I don't think you're going to have much luck because outside, all there is a fence. What this property doesn't have is a back garden. Although there are gardens on both sides, they're not very private. On the plus side, there is a garage and off-street parking. Just before it went to auction at a guide price of £150,000 to £160,000, this place was on the market for £200,000. Let's get the lowdown from a local estate agent.
The property could be used in many ways. A home for someone, possibly, or a holiday home. Certainly because it's so close to the beach, and also there is a huge demand for rental in this area for this type of property.
That's good to know. So how much could it make if rented out?
Once renovated, I would recommend a rental income of £750 per calendar month.
What if the bungalow was done up and put up for sale?
I would anticipate a resale price of £225,000.
This bungalow needs totally modernising. A new kitchen, a new bathroom, windows. The list just goes on and on. But bought at the right price, well, this could be somebody's little holiday hideaway. Let's see what happened when it went to auction.
150, 160 the guide, start bid 150,000. 140 then to start. 140 I have, thank you very much, in the door. 145. 145 is bid, and 150. Is that a bid? 150 I'm bid, 151. 152, 152, 154. No, 152 at the back at £152,000 is bid. 154 do I see? Well, at £152,000 at the very, very back of the room, 154 I have in a fresh place. 156, 158, 158 and 159. 159 is bid, and 160 I have. 161, 162, 163, 163 and 164. 164 is bid, 165 I have, and 166. 66 is bid, and 67. 168 for you. 168 is bid. 170. 170 I have. 172. 172. 174. 172 I'm bid. 172 I shall sell if there's no further advance. But 172 at the back of the room, are you all done? Sold at 172,000.
It was Bill who bought the bungalow for £172,000. He's a self-employed plumber and spent his time between jobs backpacking around the world.
Bill, congratulations. Well done.
Wonderful, thank
Now,
you.
so why did you want to buy this property in Westbrook?
Just as an investment, really, somewhere to live and to maybe generate an income while I go off and do some travelling.
Bill likes to keep on the move, so he wants to get in, get started, and then sell on at a profit.
They call me the Wanderer, yeah, the Wanderer. I roam around and round and round and round.
He sold his last property 3.5 years ago. Why did he go for this 1930s bungalow?
It's got a very nice feel, the rooms are nice sizes, and it just felt right.
I've got to say, bungalows do offer a lot more space, don't they?
It's got quite a nice size footprint, so, you know, both the bedrooms are double rooms, which is ideal. The kitchen's a nice size, living room, it's just got a nice feeling about it.
Now, there's no back garden with this. Do you think that will be a drawback?
I would imagine it's probably a retired person's bungalow at some point in the future, and, you know, do they really want a big garden? If you've got, you know, relatively short walk, all of the beach, if you want to walk a dog or anything like that, there's plenty of open space that you can use if you wanted to.
That is a very valid point.
Bill spent 20 years in the plumbing trade. He's built up a lot of contacts and experience and will be calling in some favours to help him.
My skills are going to be needed in here.
There's lots of dripping taps and noises when I first walked in.
Yeah, the plumbing is looking a little bit worse for wear. I'll certainly do the bulk of the plumbing work, decorations, and I've got some friends that have, you know, said they'll help out.
So will you be basing yourself here, living here and doing the work at the same time?
Yeah, it's I've done that several times before with projects for sort of paying customers. It means I can work till 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening and try and get the job done a little bit quicker.
That's music to my ears, a plumber working until 8 o'clock. What's going on? Is that what you do?
I do it quite regularly, yes, yeah.
So what's Bill planning on doing here?
We'd like to keep the front door. It's quite a nice original feature. Probably double glaze, certainly a rewire, a complete replumb, kitchen, bathroom, maybe take the chimney stack and the chimney breast down to sort of square the kitchen off. Take the pantry out also to make the kitchen a better usable space. And then decoration right through and carpets.
So that's quite a long list.
It's going to be involved.
So what's your budget for the work then?
I'd initially thought 20k, but I would like to try and come in below that if I can.
Bill will keep a keen eye on those purse strings, as he'll need every penny of profit he can get here.
Ideally, it would be nice to spend a few months every year somewhere nice and warm. If I could be away for the winter, it'd be fantastic.
So you've bought this property, you want to renovate this property, you want to try and get some cash out of this property, and then clear off travelling.
And then, yeah, go off and enjoy myself.
If all goes to plan, Bill will renovate this place within 6 months and sell it on. He'll use some of the profit to go to Australia. But what if things don't go to plan?
If you can't sell this property and you can't get the value that you want from this property, what about letting it out? I mean, you are in, you know, the seaside, summertime, summer season holiday land. Have you thought about that?
It's not an avenue I'd looked at. I hadn't really considered holiday lets. Might be worth looking into. It would mean that possibly I'd have somewhere to come back to when I've finished my travels as well.
Exactly, it's only seasonal, but it could work out. And are you looking forward to sort of cracking on with it?
Oh yeah. I'd take real pride in the before and the after, you know, to tear it to bits and then build it back up and see a real difference and a quality finish. It makes me happy.
Bill, good luck. It's been brilliant meeting you today, and I hope it all goes really well.
Wonderful.
And it ends up the way you want it to be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bill's bought a bungalow and a backpack. The question is, will this little house give him the chance to spend his winters away and fund his globe-trotting lifestyle? You can find out how it goes for him later in the programme.
We're travelling back to Margate now to catch up with perennial backpacker Bill. He bought this bungalow in the Westbrook area of the town. A plumber by trade, Bill was going to do everything in between his paid work. He certainly had plenty on his hands, as the property was crying out to be completely updated. He hoped to make enough to finance his next trip to Australia.
So why did you want to buy this property in Westbrook?
Just as an investment, really, somewhere to live and to maybe generate an income while I go off and do some travelling.
The property is just 400 yards from the beach and very well proportioned. Bill paid $172,000 for the bungalow and had a budget of $20,000 to do the renovation. 6.5 months into the project, has he finished the refurbishment and booked his flight to Australia? Well, it seems his wings have been clipped for the moment, as the work is still progressing. But Bill's aiming for a high-end finish in the bungalow, as you can see in the kitchen.
A lot of work happened in the kitchen. The chimney breast has come down. The door has moved from this unit area to there. We've fitted a nice new kitchen. We've installed a new window and the nice new oak worktops with the drainer grooves routed into the top. That's 5 coats of oil so far.
Bill's really tried to make the most of the space here. By moving the kitchen doorway, he's been able to increase the size of the bathroom. And with a slight reconfiguration of the tiny separate toilet, he's creating an ensuite wet room off one of the bedrooms. One of the improvements that really helps transform the house are the custom-made windows.
As part of the double glazing project for the building, we've redone the windows, both bay windows in the bedrooms, which had been done not extremely well in the past, by including the glazed side panels on both windows.
And it's the windows that have caused the biggest headache of the whole project so far.
Windows were promised in 4 to 6 weeks, but they actually took 8 before they arrived, and one of the windows had been forgotten, which took another 3 weeks. So big delay on the windows, which kind of put the whole project behind.
Apart from the stresses of the renovation, is he happy with how it's all coming together?
The vision I had in my head is beginning to materialise. although it kind of does change along the way. And unfortunately, nobody else is privy to the information that's in there, and it kind of infuriates me at times when people aren't kind of working towards your vision, but they can't see it, so how can they?
The lean-to outside has been re-roofed and the entire property rewired and replumbed. Bill's going to owe his friends quite a few drinks by the time he's finished the bungalow.
I've roped in various different friends at various points throughout the project to come down and just give us a hand with lifting and carrying, maybe certainly the decorating. A young friend of mine has done quite a bit of the decorating. I've not really picked up a paintbrush. The bulk of the carpentry, the new doors and stuff, I had to get someone in for, and the plastering contractors, the electrics contractors, but all of the demolition and, you know, the plasterboarding and new ceilings has kind of been done by myself.
Bill's no stranger to roughing it, as his passion is backpacking. His living arrangements have been pretty flexible whilst he's been working on the bungalow or his plumbing jobs.
I've stayed at my mum's, I've stayed here on many occasions. If I'm working away, then, you know, I'll stay at my girlfriend's house, or anyone that will put me up. If I happen to be working in an empty house, then yeah, there's always a sleeping bag and an air bed in the back of the van, and as long as I can get some shut-eye, then I'm happy.
So far, Bill's managed to keep within his budget of $20,000, but he's still got to buy and fit a combi boiler. Then he's going to add the latest of mod cons, heated skirting boards instead of radiators.
I think another couple of months should see it finished. I think if I could get a 4-week solid time period with all the materials on site and not having to go and do any work, then I could be finished in that time. But realistically, I think probably, allowing for the fact that I've got to go to work, probably another 3 months.
After 6.5 months on the project, Bill spent $190,000, including that £172,000 purchase price. He reckons completing the work will cost another $5 grand, taking his total outlay to $195,000. Has it been a good investment? Let's get the lowdown from 2 local estate agents.
My first impressions of the house is a very nice finish. It's very contemporary, sort of minimalistic sort of feel to it, and I think it's very high standards and very, very well done.
The biggest selling point of this property, in my opinion, would be the location. Also the lovely kitchen, and the size of the kitchen, I think, will be the main selling point.
So far so good, but has Bill added value? What could it sell for in a finished state?
I feel the current value will be £250,000.
When completed, I would recommend marketing this property at £250,000.
Bill's still got to finish here, but it looks like he could clean up with a pre-tax profit of around 55 grand.
That's fantastic. A lot more than I anticipated. Makes all those late nights worthwhile. Fantastic.
And there's more good news if Bill were to decide to rent the property out.
I would recommend a rental of £700 per calendar month.
I feel the rental value will be roughly around £700 per calendar month.
Interesting. I don't think I'd like to go the rental route, but it's nice to know.
So does that mean Bill will be putting it on the market as soon as he's finished, so he can go globe-trotting again?
I think I'm going to move in, certainly for the short term, see what the area's like, how nice it is to be here, and if I can generate some local work so I don't need to keep commuting, then I would like to stay. But I do want to do some more travelling as well, so I don't think it will be a forever home, but certainly for a minimum of 6 months, may well be a couple of years.